Hi, everyone. We are live. You are live with the Connecticut LGBTQ Film Festival Committee. And now is now's your chance to meet the committee and to learn a lot more about the upcoming 35th Annual Connecticut LGBTQ Film Festival, which starts this Friday on June 3rd, and it runs for 10 days through the 12th of June. And it is a combination of in-person screenings throughout the 10 days, but we also have virtual screenings as well for the 10 days and then beyond that, because for every screening that we show at Cine Studio, most of those films will start up the next day on streaming through the Eventive platform, and it'll stay there for another week. So some of the films, including all the short film programs, are available until the 19th of June. So you have 2/3 of the month of June to enjoy the festival, and we hope you all will. So anyway, I just thought I would tell you a little bit about the festival. Also this year, something that is that's coming back to the festival. We are having the parties are coming back. So opening night will be this Friday at Cine Studio, and it'll start off. Everything will kick off at 7:30, and then after the film, which is mascarpone. I don't know how it's the preferred pronunciation. But after the film, we will have the opening night party in our traditional spot, which is just through the archway and across the lawn to the Mather Hall cave patio. So we're looking forward to that. We got some great food. We got a DJ coming. It'll be like good old times. So. And all of the films that are playing in person will be playing at Cine Studio on the campus of Trinity College there, with the exception of closing night, which is June 11th, the following Saturday. And like we've done in the past, those two films, we're showing two films that night, kind of a women's feature and a men's feature. And those will be screening in downtown Hartford. The film Wildhood will be screening at the Connecticut Science Center, and the film Girl Picture will be screening at Apple Cinemas, which you might remember as Spotlight Theaters on Front Street in Hartford. But now it's called the Apple Cinemas Luxury Dine-In Theater. So it has the kind of reclining seats and little mini tables there, so you can enjoy a drink or some food with the movie. And of course, the after party for closing night will be at the Connecticut Science Center. So it's just a block away for those people attending at the Apple Cinemas. So at this point right now, you can go onto our website and purchase tickets or passes. So if you wanted to buy individual tickets to individual shows, what you do is you go through either the schedule, or you can look at the full catalog of films and find the films that you want to watch, and then it'll say select a show. You click on that button, and it will allow you to purchase a ticket right there. Or if you go to our main website, which is outfilmct.org, there's a button right there to click to purchase passes. And we have two types of passes, which is a 5-show pass, which lets you into any 5 shows that you want to watch, including shorts, or including in-person films, virtual films, all of the above, except for opening and closing party nights. So with the 5-show pass, it has to be anything but the opening night in person or the closing night in person. But then we also offer a Festi Pass, which is the all access Festi Pass. It gives you access to every single thing that we're showing. And that includes the opening and closing parties as well. So if you buy that, you get access to everything. And it's definitely worth the money you're spending. And it's definitely the best bang for your buck out there. So, and the other thing is we have two different versions. We have a regular 5-show pass and a regular Festi Pass, but we also have the household version. So if there's more than one person in the household, you're invited to pay the higher price to help support the film festival. And you can watch as many films as you want at home, or it does give you up to 2 in-person tickets for each show. So I think that's all I have there. We are following. Everyone's wondering about COVID policies. We are following the COVID policies that are in place for the different venues that we're at. So at Cinestudio currently, and things could change, but currently they are requiring that everyone have a vaccination, that we check vaccination cards, and also that people wear masks while in the theater, except if you were eating and drinking. And we will be doing that during the centerpiece reception. So that's on Wednesday the 8th, just before the film Framing Agnes. So anyhow, I will stop talking for a minute and I'll ask everyone else on the here to introduce themselves and say a few words, and then we'll get into what people's favorite films are. So why don't we start with Jaime Ortega?
Hello, everyone. Happy Pride. I'm Jaime Ortega. I'm one of the co-directors of Out Film Connecticut. We're really excited. We got a really good, a lot of good programs this year. And, thank you for your support throughout all the years. If this is your first time, we hope that you enjoy it and come back, next year. And so, we're really glad to have a blended festival this year, both virtual and in person. So whatever you feel comfortable with for attending. So just a little bit about myself. This is my 7th year being involved with Out Film Connecticut. And and so, this, I think, my 3rd year as co-director. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing people at the theater, and should be a good time. So thanks for watching, and see you there.
All right, next we have Mark Slitt.
Oh, I thought you were going to introduce Marina, our vice president. I'm just an ordinary committee member.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I'm Mark Slitt. This is my 12th season with the festival. For those of you who've come to the festival for many years, you've probably purchased a ticket for me in the ticket booth, or maybe even for Marina, because she's often in the ticket booth. Or I may have taken your ticket, or I might have sold you water or candy. Those are the things I like doing the most because it enables me to meet our guests and interact with them. So like the others have said, we're really excited to be back at Cinestudio again in person. Really happy to be bringing back the parties and putting the festivity back in the festival, and looking forward to welcoming you all and seeing you and having a great time. So again, thanks for supporting the festival. We'll see you soon.
Marina?
Hi, I'm Marina. I've been in the festival for 6 years, I think now, and I'm vice president for a few years. And I had different roles throughout the years at the festival, did different things, and I always love it. That's my favorite time of the year, June. Exciting, and now my role mostly focuses on doing Q&As with our film directors, the creators of the films, and this is, I think, the third year we are doing it. Um, since no, we did it before COVID once, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and I love doing it because it's a great chance to meet all people all over the world and see, interact with directors, with the actors, and see their vision and have really great discussions with them. Um, Sometimes we talk one on one with the director, and it's also very interesting to get to know them. Sometimes we have um, the Q&A panel for short programs, and then the creators of the films, they don't know each other and they meet there, and then they haven't most of the time they haven't seen each other movies, and they, because they talk about their work, they get excited, and this is what happened this year. They all got excited about the films, and now they wanted to watch all of their works. So it's very cool. It's always fun to do that. It's it's a great thing. And this year we are introducing a new short program, committee recommended shorts, which is really great. It will be streaming virtually, I think.
Yeah.
But it's selected shorts by our committee members, and I think
Yeah.
this
In theory, all of the films were selected by our committee members, but in this
no
program
the
specifically,
top ones, yeah, the
yeah, it's
top
just
selected ones.
each committee member had an option to choose one that they loved the best. And each committee member was able to put in the program book a little blurb to say, here's why I love the film so much. And we hope that you like it too. So
Yeah.
thanks. Um, so I forgot to introduce myself, but I'm Shane Ingstrom. I've been involved with the film festival for 22 years now. Um, and I've been the director or the co-director for the past 15 years, I believe. Um, so, um, so why don't we just at this point share some of everyone's favorite films, because I'm sure that everyone out there is wondering which films they should go see, um, and they don't know anything about the films. They probably have their little flyer that they got in the mail, maybe, but are just not really sure what to see. So we're just gonna kind of go around the room here and ask everyone what which ones they would recommend and tell us why, and then we'll watch a clip or the trailer so we can talk about it. So maybe why don't we start with Marina? Um,
Mhm.
and which one did you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I already mentioned the shorts, and I have one favorite feature and one favorite dog. And the feature is called Sweetheart. It's a lesbian coming of age film, but it's not a typical coming of age film. It's very, for me it seems like it's very different because I don't really like coming of age films. They tend to be too cheesy sometimes. This one is different. It's British, and the girl there is very quirky and very um, ironic, very kind of dark. Um, she's also fun, and she's going through a lot of emotions, trying to figure out her sexuality and what's happening. The plot is kind of simple. It's just typical film with when they go on a vacation and the girl meets girl, but the way it's done in this film is so interesting and so different that I just like I love it.
All right, so if I can figure this out, we'll watch a little clip of it. Hold on. So let me press this and then add that. And let's see, here we go.
Oh, cows! You do realise that the breeding of cows is like the #1 cause of deforestation? What? I don't like the spelling of your name. Right, I'm gonna go and check us in. Are you coming? Why do you guys all just look the same? What's the Wi-Fi code? There isn't any Wi-Fi. I was perfectly fine at home, but Mum insisted. Where's my dead Jesus jumper? You can be gay, you know. Here we go. I like a girl. Why can't I just do what I want to do? Because it changes every 5 minutes. That's why. Like it happen. Thanks. I love by the way. AJ, they all look so happy. Like they exist in some parallel universe. What's wrong with you? 17, nothing wrong with me. I've never seen anyone wear so many clothes to the beach. Girls like you always have boyfriends like me. Why can't you just say what? It's okay. AJ, wait! I knew you'd ruin this holiday for everyone. You always do. Life is not fun all the time. I like you a lot. This is your holiday too, you know. You're allowed to enjoy yourself. Sometimes I have no idea who I am. The thing about being on holiday, you get to be whoever you want to be. All I know is things are different now.
What's the plan and what are you thinking of doing?
Indonesia. Indonesia? There's a charity out there you can volunteer. You knit jumpers for elephants.
All right.
I'm Nicole Hockley from Sandy Hook Promise. I know this is hard to.
Am I the only one that thinks she looks a little bit like Billie Eilish?
Yes,
Have
Right.
to put green hair on her and she'd be a spitting image of her.
he does look like her.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I think you can tell from that it's everything Marina said about it. It's cute, it's fun, it's touching, and you know, a little of everything for people. And that one is playing on Saturday night, the first Saturday, June 4th, at the early show, which is 7 p.m. So get your tickets now. So who wants to go next?
I can go next.
All right.
So I have a few actually, but I'll emphasize one. But one of the first ones that I really enjoyed was Lonesome. That's playing Saturday. That's actually the second showing that we have Saturday night. It's playing at 9:30, June 4th. I had a chance to screen it as part of the Berlinale Film Festival, and I love this movie. It was, if you're in the mood to watch a movie with a lot of skin, this is your pick for sure. A lot of nice eye candy, a pretty interesting story, good, really great acting. It's about, a young man who's fleeing a small town, and he's kind of trying to figure things out, and he meets people along the way, and hijinks ensue. So I'll just leave it at that. This is
a lot of sex.
yeah, a lot of sex. And this is an in-person showing only, so your only chance to see it will be at Cine Studio. And this is a really good movie because this is something that I don't know if it'll ever play in Connecticut. again after we show it. So definitely check it out. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, and I have to say, I think we're probably like the second festival in the whole U.S. that's or probably North America that's playing it. So it's really special. So definitely check it out.
Yeah. The next one is called Great Freedom. This was I
Wait,
was very
did you want to show the trailer for that?
yeah. We can show the trailer for that, and then I'll have two
Or-
more movies I want to talk about. But yeah, let's check it out. Let me know what you think.
All right, hold on.
What happened to you? And no boys like you. Being on your own. You like it that way.
Are you a real cowboy?
What brings you to Sydney? Never seen the ocean. Never. No. Always wanted to. I thought I'd come check it out. Is that what you imagined? There was this guy I was seeing. He's married, had a young family. Felt lazy, I guess. Someone saw us. Where I'm from, it's not like it. Where's your son? I wasn't the most supportive. I just took off.
Yeah, so hopefully that gives you a good idea of what you'll be in for. So the next film I wanted to talk about was Great Freedom, and this is another only in-person screening, and I was very moved by this film, and I really hope people come out to see it. It's playing after our closing night on Sunday, June 12th at 7:30. And it's about a man named Hans who is in and out of prison. He is constantly being prisoned under paragraph 175 in 19th century Germany. And that's the law that was criminalizing homosexuality. And while he's in prison, he develops a really strong bond with a convicted murderer. So definitely another must watch. And again, you probably won't see it on the big screen in Connecticut anywhere else. So definitely do not miss that one.
All right,
And,
we can check that one out if you want. We have
Sure, yeah.
we have a short clip of that. It's only 1 minute, so here we go.
They don't even know who you are yet.
Oh.
You're already getting mad.
It's not the one.
Oops.
Wrong one. Oh, wrong one. Here we go. This one's a minute 51. So.
Oh.
Praktiken. Und dann natürlich uns nach Paragraph 175. Kein Dementi. Kein Dementi. Was wird beantragt? 24 Monate ohne Geld. Immer noch nicht. Und du? Ja, der erst. Und die haben mir gegeben. 12 Monate. Ja? Ja. 들어갔을 때 뺨이었으면은 저걸 믿고는도 전부 실추.
işte ayvazı tut.
나 이모부가 앞에서는 너다고 주파기 있으면 돼서 어떻게
Alles. Alles, was wir wollen.
Yeah, a very good film. I definitely gonna watch it again at the festival. I can't wait to see it on the big screen.
And I don't know if you noticed there, it flashed on the screen, but this was Austria's Oscar, foreign language Oscar submission for this year. So
Oh, wow.
we show quality stuff here at our festival.
We do.
And the last one is called Keep the Cameras Rolling, the Pedro Zamora way. And the reason I like this one a lot was because it was really a trip down memory lane. It's about Pedro Zamora, who was an AIDS activist in the 90s, and he was on a show on MTV called The Real World, and it was the season 3, which took place in San Francisco. So it's a documentary about him, the people, his family, people who knew him very intimately, and about his work. And it was really cool to see some of the original cast members being interviewed about Pedro and his impact on them and his impact on the world. So it was really cool, just to see. It's like, wow, like I remember watching the show when it first aired, and identifying with Pedro and what he was doing, and being really kind of like young at the time, and now seeing how how people have been impacted by his work and by him. So I'm really excited. That one is a virtual program only, so we won't be showing that at the theater, but that's one will be available Saturday, June 11th to the 17th. So definitely check that out, and get a Festi Pass, because that'll give you access to a lot of this stuff. So.
And one other thing is, with that one, I had the pleasure of doing a Q&A session with the 2 co-directors. So you can watch it online, and then right after the film, you'll be able to see, our discussion with them, and get to ask the questions. I get to ask the questions that I think you want to hear. Here we go.
They don't even know who you are yet. You're already in different magazines. It's so huge.
How many people watched MTV who just loved Pedro because he was smart and cute?
what I have to learn how to do is to learn how to live with AIDS.
I had no idea what I was getting into.
Yes, they're going to have conflict along the way, but they're going to grow.
Pedro allowed, on scale, a lot of Americans to sort of individuate someone that they knew with HIV, and they might not know anyone else.
Nothing like this is on TV at all, ever.
Just because I have AIDS doesn't mean that the rest of my life stops.
Sometimes it's hard for people to understand what 1994 was like. Part of the getting to know each other is also we're trying to figure this out.
It was also a sense of a ticking clock. It was an urgency.
I don't think the rest of us understood at that moment that it was groundbreaking.
Yeah, I'll say a lot of us of a certain age really identify with that film. So it wasn't just you, Jaime.
Yeah.
Mark, we haven't heard from you yet about which films you like.
So there were a few. Maybe I'll talk about 1 or 2 of them, and then we can come back. So one of the ones I really enjoyed a lot is Framing Agnes, which is a documentary that will be showing that's our centerpiece film, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the watchword here, or the common word here among us, is that we all really zeroed in on films this year that were different, that they might have been of a certain type, but they were different. They weren't your ordinary, like Marina was saying in the film that she was discussing. Yeah, it's a coming of age story, but it's not your typical coming of age story. And the Girl Meet Girl trope isn't, you know, what you're expecting. And I think with Framing Frances is a really wonderful documentary. I'm sorry, Framing Agnes. Sorry, Framing Agnes is it's a really wonderful documentary that is unlike most documentaries you've seen. It's really very different in that it's based on historical fact, and it's based on case studies about several people, including a transgender woman named Agnes, who participated in a gender study at UCLA back in the late 50s. And the actors, and it's all transgender actors who are reenacting sessions with the psychiatrist and behavioral specialists who were interviewing them at the time. And so it's based on transcripts of those case studies and of those actual sessions. And it's really fascinating because you're getting a blend of historical reenactment, actors, but it's based on, it's a documentary, but it doesn't feel like a documentary. You really feel like stories are unfolding before your eyes. And it's really very interesting and very captivating, and again, very unusual and different from what you've seen and what you would expect from a documentary.
All right, so let's check it out. Oh, and look, it was a Sundance winner.
Yes, it was.
I first encountered Agnes in graduate school. I read a case study about a young trans girl in the 1950s who lied her way into the UCLA gender clinic to get access to surgery. And I remember reading it and thinking, this whole thing is a lie. You know, I remember thinking, this passage is a lie. It's not telling the real story.
Well, the flip for me to the talk show is in part a nod to the fact that I think for many people of our generation, the talk show was the place where many of us first encountered gender nonconforming subjects. You might be wondering where people go when they are experiencing problems of a sexual nature. An experimental research team at UCLA is interviewing dozens of people about emerging problems of sex and gender.
It's wild to be a part of a project like this that kind of blows open a vault.
Your parents must be a little overwhelmed by your desire for all these changes.
Yeah, well, you know, they're old people. I have a friend, she's like me, and she helped me take a position as a receptionist at a hair salon.
Does the owner know about you?
They know I can type.
I put a bit of paint over the F on my driver's license, but the police scraped it off. They asked me, are you a man or a woman? I said, well, that's a matter of opinion.
We have heard the story told by the hunter and not by the lion, and not by the lions who not only fought back but got away.
I have a tricky relationship to the truth for myself.
We've all been misled so many times.
How do you justify the lies?
How do you justify your questions?
So what you're seeing there is a mixture of contemporary interviews with transgender people mixed in with the historical reenactments. So it's a really interesting blending of historical story and modern story as well. One of the other films that I really loved, and we had a lot of discussion about this in the committee, it's another Italian movie, because, you know, opening night is Mascarpone, which is an Italian language gay romance story, or not so much romance, that's about a couple breaking up. But the one I'm really in love with is a movie called Blessed Boys, another Italian film. It's kind of a romance, but it's a very different kind of romance because it's really about two best friends and who are very, very physical and affectionate with one another. And that's partly cultural because in Italy, men kiss men all the time. They're much more demonstrative than we are in the United States, and nobody thinks anything of it. You soon come to understand, though, that one of the two young men, you know, is sort of more into the other one, and you think that there may be a budding romance going on. So that's part of the story. The other part of the story is that one of those two young men, his younger sister, suddenly starts performing miracles, and she's treated as a saint in this very Catholic, very religious village. And that causes all of the relationships and all of the social structures in the town to change, including the relationship between these two young men. And it's constantly building, this very intense friendship and love between these two boys is really growing and becomes, it really reaches a crescendo at one point towards the end of the movie. So it's really interesting to see that unfold along with all the other things that are going on in this small town. So it operates on a variety of levels, and I just think it's unique. It's something that we've never seen before, and I just loved it a lot. But we did have a debate among committee members as to which is the better Italian language gay film, and this is the one I picked. So I hope you'll come out and watch it, and let's show some clips from it.
Here we go.
A Roma lo senti anche tu questo rumore? Ecco, lo senti?
No, sei tu!
Mamma, ti preparare il caffè? A dopo! Ma fate da stamattina quando è scassato cazzo che sta a fare il cucino? La colombo. Mi dovete pagare l'affitto. Trova i soldi, se no me lo caccio. Mamma! Oh! No! Mamma! Tutti uguali, gli sposi! Vieni! Che succede?
La gente vuole stare con Andaluce. Dicono che è una santa. Una santa piccola.
Povero facile. Andaluce prega tutti i giorni con la gente. La madre va in giro a offrire il caffè, ma quando fanno io... C'è una strana sensazione, Mario. Non mi sento più quella del cuore. Mi sento vuoto. Non lo so. Forse una luce è davvero qualcosa di speciale. È il miracolo dei soldi da parte, visto?
Non ti permettere. Tua sorella è santa, è miracolosa. La gente ha bisogno.
So
Yeah, so you see the title is different. The American title is Blessed Boys, but in the title there is a bit different. It has the advantage of having two very attractive young men. And while it's not as explicit as Lonesome, the film that Jaime was talking about earlier, there are some sex scenes in it and kind of hot, and I think you'll enjoy it. I have one more, but I can wait and talk about the third one afterwards, after Shane gets a chance to talk about his fave.
well, since we're talking about Italian films, one of my favorites was the opening night film, which is called Mascarpone, and a lot of people have issues with how to spell it. Is it Marscapone or is it Mascarpone? So
I think it's mascarpone.
It's Mascarpone.
Yep.
I don't think in Italy there's much debate.
No.
Good way to remember is mask, like mask for mask. Mascarpone.
So this film,
it's delicious sweet cheese, in case anybody is wondering what mascarpone is.
Yeah, so this film, it starts off with this gay couple who, they've been together forever since they were in high school, whatever. But then one of them dumps the other one, and the other one just has no idea how to live his life without being in a couple. And so a lot of the film is about him just kind of, rediscovering himself and what his life could be, and, rediscovering what it is to date and to venture out on a new venture, to go into baking, which has always been a dream of his, and to make his own mascarpone. Mascarpone cheese. So it's really, it's also filled with very attractive looking guys.
That's a theme here that we've discovered.
And it's just one of those films that I think will appeal to a broad audience. No matter who you are, what you like, I think you'll love this film. That's why we put it on opening night. So So let's check that one out. Hold on. Add it back and hit play.
Allora, che c'hai? No, le cose non vanno più bene da un pezzo. È fatta di momenti che non possiamo prevedere, di cose che capitano così all'improvviso, che si trasformano. E puff, puff. Venus? Ah, ma tu sei il tizio della stanza. Vieni, prendiamoci un caffè.
È da una vita che vivo sempre solo con una persona.
Antonio, non sei più sposato. Prima di cercare l'amore, devi trovare te stesso, piano piano. E poi Antonio è bravissimo a cucinare. Ma che ne sai? Guarda che mi fa.
Ad ogni modo, sta botta è via. Ti è piaciuto allora?
Una notifica vale più di 100 parole. Un omosessuale che fa una rainbow cake. Avanguardia assoluta. Beh,
Cool.
dignitoso, dai. Ottimo. Next.
So,
And I did the interview with one of the directors, Matteo Pilazzi, I think. So he tells how the film was created, and it's actually their first feature film. And for the first feature film, it's amazing. I think, yeah.
And it
So-
has the sassy roommate too, as well as all the other cast.
The
I
roommate-
love that character, and I love the relationship between the roommates. That was the highlight for me for that film.
yeah, on that one, we probably won't show the Q&A on the big screen because we don't want to wait to get to the party.
Right.
But the Q&A will be available on our website, and it'll be available if you decide to stream it later. So
And there will be desserts with mascarpone at the party.
we hope so. Yes.
Yes, we hope so. A little Italian themed reception.
So Marina, you had another film that you.
Yeah, I had another film, a doc called Seiran Atesh, Sex Revolution in Islam. I love watching documentaries about amazing and inspiring women, and she is the first female imam in Europe, and she's an immigrant from Turkey, and she moved to Germany when she was a kid, and she also is a lesbian, so she and Muslim. So she was struggling with religion and sexuality and being a woman, and she did the first. She made the first, I think, mosque where she is a female imam, and is open to LGBTQ community, and it shows that she struggles with the reaction from the public. The reaction is very negative from Muslim community. She has to be surrounded by police, and it's amazing that she's still doing what she's doing.
All right.
So we have a trailer for that, right?
Yep. Here we go.
You are a disgrace to Islam and Muslims. Fuck you, old bitch. I'm looking for the magic in my religion.
Seiran Atesh, ladies and gentlemen.
You have to see the reality. Islam needs a sexual revolution.
You have a fatwa against you.
I have police protection since 2006. There are a lot of people who are willing to kill me. We need reformation in Islam, but we cannot wait 500 years. It's time to change.
Such a well done documentary, and it will be available online only, virtually. So you can check it out, I think, anytime during the festival, right?
Yep. And right now I'm gonna do something special and add another special guest.
Here's Ray.
We have Ray.
You got in finally.
Finally, we got in. We had a passport. We got in. Thank you.
So Ray is one of our newer committee members this year. She has come to the film festival for many, many years. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us like if there's a film that you wanted to talk about a little bit.
I'm Ray Tattenbaum, and for many years, actually since the time we moved to Connecticut almost 30 years ago, we have enjoyed the film festival. And as part of our enjoyment, we sometimes meet some of our New York friends at the Hartford Film Festival. I love movies. We don't get to see them enough. And I always try to plan our schedule around the film festival. And I always go up and select the members of the committee and give them my advice, because I think my advice is good. You have to think that in this world, or nobody would listen to you. But I talked to them about the films and what I thought about them and what they didn't choose and stuff like that. So this year, I have the luxury, due to the pandemic, to be part of this wonderful committee. And I must tell you, when you come to the film festival, and I know you will after this program, well, they put so much work into this. Is so much time spent watching, previewing films, developing the program, arranging for those first and last night parties. I'm amazed. I've been on a lot of committees, but this one is very organized. And to be honest, sometimes I get in trouble because I have a little ideaphoria and I make these suggestions that they thought about 30 years ago. So, and thanks to Mark, who's on the committee, I learned what the intention of the film festival was, and that it's about bringing films that are relevant to our community. Not only must they be relevant, but they must be artistic and well made. And that's where the fun is, because we each have a different opinion. So I think I've freelanced enough on this already. You want me to talk about my favorite films, or
Yes.
would you like me to talk about my problems with technology? Okay.
Yeah, tell us about what movie you really liked.
Okay. So the first film I want to really share with you, and I hope somebody else will press the button to give you the preview. The film I want to talk about is Prognosis. And this is a film about Deborah Chasnoff. Deborah Chasnoff was a very well-known filmmaker in the San Francisco film community. She won an Oscar for a short film, and she was the first gay person to identify that she had a partner. We met her in New York at a public school where there was a showing about new gay and lesbian films. And she was so charismatic, I wanted to run off to San Francisco and get myself engaged in social action film. So That didn't happen. I came to Hartford. So he learns, Chaz, that's what everyone calls her, learns that she has stage 4 cancer. Now, that would be a turnoff about watching a film, but this is an exquisite movie. And the reason it's exquisite is because she reached out to the film committee in San Francisco and simultaneously reached out to the medical community. And in reaching out to the medical community, she guaranteed that the filmmakers, her team, would have access. So this film is so beautifully done because the volunteers, they may have gotten paid. That was not part of what I read, but they would get a note, an email, and they would sign up for her next appointment. So imagine a cinematographer, a sound person, and a lighting person showing up and working together, maybe for the first time in a very intimate setting in a doctor's office. And what you see in the film is her connection with her 2 sons, with her spouse, and with the community. And she didn't have a bucket list. The only 2 places she actually goes to is Portugal and Pompeii, and we get invited. So I'd like you to see the link because I want you to know that this film is about living and how we make the most of our relationships. So that's Chaz.
All right, so let's check it out. Hold on.
I have stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, and it's a bell curve, and I could be at one end of the bell curve and die soon, or I could live a really long time and maybe die of something else.
I don't know this Chaz, so I'm gonna do everything in my power to keep Chaz in this earth. I'm not gonna give up. Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. You're fine? Is that okay? I'm okay. Not only am I a patient dealing with this very serious thing, I'm still a social justice filmmaker. I want to demystify this experience. I may not have a whole lot of time left to live, and I have to figure out what's this new world. What can my world be now?
You are a different person now, What's that like? Like what's going on inside?
I want to be as awake as possible. I'd be able to help other people be the same. Where are we going now?
There we are.
So I invite everyone to come on June 12th and see the film in person because there's the cinematography, everything about it is exquisite and hopeful.
Thank you, Ray. You also had another film that you talked a lot about during the year that you liked too, a short film.
That means I nudged you during the year. How many votes did this film have? Okay. This film is called My Mother's Girlfriend. When is it playing? When can people see it?
You keep talking and I'll look it up. It's
Okay,
I think
I'll
it's
keep.
part of the women's the lesbian shorts on Tuesday night,
Okay,
7th.
so this film was an original script that was submitted in India to a new program about fostering gay and lesbian films and opening up a dialogue about gay and lesbian films. So this film took first place. And that sort of stimulated its ability to fundraise. And the director chose as the two leading women who had been in theater, were well trained. They earned, this wasn't a part time gig for them. They were well known theater people, writers, and filmmakers. So when the film begins, we see the leading lady who is 50 and is turning 50 in the vegetable market. And if you've ever been to India, one of the must-see sites is the vegetable market. And it's primarily women selling different vegetables. Well, those women, in order to make the marketplace, get up at 3 a.m. in order to gather all those vegetables and come. And when we were there at the vegetable market, you just wanted to take pictures of everyone's face as they sat there and sold vegetables. It was quite intriguing. And we meet one of the women, and we soon learn that she's approaching tomorrow her 50th birthday. And she's in love with another woman from the same slum community. And it's not clear whether they've actually been lovers yet or they're friends. I think they're friends, soon to be lovers. And she invites her to celebrate her birthday with her. And there's some hesitancy. And she agrees, and we soon see them together on a beach celebrating her birthday. This scene is so beautiful. It's in the water, and you see them moving in a very comfortable yet restricted way because they're in public. And uh, it has a great deal of intimacy. And here we are watching middle-aged women from India being intimate at a beach, as intimate as they allowed themselves to be. Well, her son sees his mother with this woman, and he comes the next day and confronts her. So the film, I think, is a breakthrough film, and it's already won a number of awards. And it's it's so beautifully done, and the actresses, if you're interested in acting or good acting in film, you should definitely come and see this movie. And it's moving. Here's a clip from it,
Now I got a 1-minute clip.
a 1 minute clip that took up part of my time, right?
Mikä bulti? Ei meidän voi tehdä. Puri rikkomusta kerran. Tukkamme.
All right, there you have it. Um, So, and I did confirm that is part of the Lesbian Shorts program, playing on Tuesday night, which is June 7th. So check it out at Cinestudio. I know we're at the 1 hour mark, so I think we'll wrap up shortly. But I figured it'd be appropriate to end with. I know Mark wanted to talk a little bit about one of the closing night films.
Yeah, Wildhood. This is the men's closing night film. Again, the watchword is different. It is a coming of age movie, but it's unlike most coming of age movies we've seen. First of all, the protagonist is an indigenous from indigenous people's background. He's not, wouldn't say Native American. I guess Native Canadian. The movie is made in Canada, correct?
You know, Canada's part of America.
I know, but when we're all ethnocentric here, and we talk about America as being the United States of America. So, and I didn't want to diminish Canadian, identities. So, a young man who's of mixed heritage, and he goes. He leaves his abusive father and he goes out on the road with his younger brother, and along the way he befriends this other young man who really opens some new worlds for him. And it's a sweet love story, but it's also about finding his, getting in touch with and finding his ancestral roots while he's out looking for his birth mother, who has disappeared, and she may or may not be dead, and he's trying to go find her. So he's on a quest. So there's a lot of things going on. There's a little love story going on. There's a cultural thing going on. There's a quest for finding your mom kind of thing going on. Lots of things happening, which makes it very unusual and very different from most of the teen coming of age types of movies we've seen. I think it's really terrific. So,
and again, this is playing on Saturday, June 11th at the Connecticut Science Center. Here we go.
Does this look like the sky or the ocean? To me, they look the same. And what if they don't fit anymore? That's how your mother felt. She felt like she didn't belong.
He said she was dead! She's dead the day she left his house, alright? He still wants you. Don't sit there! Let's go!
What are we gonna say when we go back?
You into dirt bikes? What's your favorite ride?
Are you Micmac? Link's Micmac.
No, I'm not. It's Rick Moore. Yeah, we don't need your help. It's all that. Regalia.
For dancing? A good dancer can make a big cat.
Yeah, any good?
She ran away. Why didn't you take me with her?
Lincoln, Culacuaracuito.
Look, you gave us already. Who do you think it is?
He likes you.
Whatever.
He wants to do it.
You don't know how lucky you are that there's someone who could. How do you say, Mother? Engage. O cuesta está. Engage. O cuesta.
All right. So I want to thank you all for joining us, and for anyone who watches this throughout the week. I hope you this has provided a little taste of what the festival has to offer this year. We all thank you, and we all look forward to seeing you at the festival.
Yes, everyone. And as you can see, if you've been watching this whole time, we have a mix of very diverse programming this year. So as you can see from what all the trailers that we've shown, there really is something for everyone. So we hope to see you at the movies. Let's spread the word.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.